CLEP English Literature Review. Question 1. Select the term for hints that prepare readers for later events. Option A. Free indirect discourse. Option B. Foreshadowing. Option C. Dramatic irony. Option D. Rhyme scheme. The correct answer is option B. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing fits because it means hints that prepare readers for later events. Dramatic irony and rhyme scheme refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Free indirect discourse is also different. Flashback moves into the past, symbolism gives objects larger meaning, irony depends on contrast. Question 2. Who wrote Hamlet? Option A. Charlotte Bronte. Option B. Thomas Hardy. Option C. W. B. Yeats. Option D. William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option D. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because Hamlet is a revenge tragedy centered on delay, conscience, performance, and corruption. W. B. Yeats is linked to the Second Coming. Thomas Hardy is linked to Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Charlotte Bronte points instead to Jane Eyre, so it does not match this clue. Question 3. If a poem uses a long elevated narrative poem about heroic or cosmic events, which device is present? Option A. Sonnet. Option B. Epic. Option C. Epistolary novel. Option D. Dramatic irony. The correct answer is option B. Epic. Epic fits because it means a long elevated narrative poem about heroic or cosmic events. Sonnet and epistolary novel refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Dramatic irony is also different. Lyric poetry focuses on personal feeling, comedy resolves conflict happily, essay presents prose argument. Question 4. Recognizing third-person narration that slips into a character's thoughts or idiom points to which term? Option A. Foreshadowing. Option B. Free indirect discourse. Option C. Soliloquy. Option D. Stream of consciousness. The correct answer is option B. Free indirect discourse. Free indirect discourse fits because it means third-person narration that slips into a character's thoughts or idiom. Stream of consciousness and foreshadowing refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Soliloquy is also different. First person uses I. Omniscient narration is broadly all-knowing. Dramatic irony depends on audience knowledge. Question 5. Which work is tied to Ben Jonson? Option A. The Faerie Queene. Option B. The Second Coming. Option C. Volpone. Option D. Sonnets. The correct answer is option C. Volpone. Volpone fits because it is Ben Jonson's work, a Jacobean satirical comedy exposing greed, deception, and moral corruption. The Faerie Queene is associated with Edmund Spenser. The Second Coming is associated with W. B. Yeats. Sonnets belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 6. Examining a CLEP-style clue, how should a character clue about Heathcliff and Catherine be answered? Option A. Robinson Crusoe. Option B. Orinoco. Option C. Wuthering Heights. Option D. 1984. The correct answer is option C. Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff and Catherine are at the emotional center of Emily Bronte's Gothic novel. Pip belongs to Great Expectations, Dorothea belongs to Middlemarch, Belinda belongs to The Rape of the Lock. Question 7. Among these terms, which one names a 9-line stanza with 8 lines of iambic pentameter and a final alexandrine? Option A. Epic. Option B. Dramatic irony. Option C. Spenserian stanza. Option D. Satire. The correct answer is option C. Spenserian stanza. Spenserian stanza fits because it means a 9-line stanza with 8 lines of iambic pentameter and a final alexandrine. Dramatic irony and epic refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Satire is also different. Heroic couplet has 2 rhymed lines. Blank verse is unrhymed iambic pentameter. Ottava rima has 8 lines. Question 8. If a clue names the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which author is expected? Option A. Derek Walcott. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Option D. Jane Austen. The correct answer is option C. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Samuel Taylor Coleridge fits because the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is a supernatural romantic ballad involving guilt, punishment, and imaginative vision. Jane Austen is linked to Pride and Prejudice. Derek Walcott is linked to Omrose. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 9. When Salman Rushdie appears in review, which title fits? Option A. The Canterbury Tales. Option B. Tom Jones. Option C. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option D. Midnight's Children. The correct answer is option D. Midnight's Children. Midnight's Children fits because it is Salman Rushdie's work, a post-colonial novel using magical realism to connect personal and national history. Sonnets from the Portuguese is associated with Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Tom Jones is associated with Henry Fielding. The Canterbury Tales belongs with Geoffrey Chaucer, not this author. Clue. Question 10. During terminology review, which term matches the voice that tells a story? Option A, conceit. Option B, narrator. Option C, stream of consciousness. Option D, allegory. The correct answer is option B, narrator. Narrator fits because it means the voice that tells a story. Conceit and stream of consciousness refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Allegory is also different. Author is the actual writer, protagonist is a leading character, audience is the reader or viewer. Question 11. Which work includes J. Alfred Prufrock? Option A, Jane Eyre. Option B, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option C, King Lear. Option D, The Fairy Queen. The correct answer is option B, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Prufrock is Eliot's self-conscious speaker associated with modern alienation and paralysis. Beowulf is an epic hero, Gulliver is Swift's traveler, Othello is Shakespeare's tragic general. Question 12. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, how would a clue about anonymous Old English poet most likely be answered? Option A, The Pilgrim's Progress. Option B, 1984. Option C, Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option D, Beowulf. The correct answer is option D, Beowulf. Beowulf fits because it is anonymous Old English poet's work, an Anglo-Saxon heroic epic built around monsters, loyalty, fame, and alliterative verse. Sonnets from the Portuguese is associated with Elizabeth Barrett Browning. 1984 is associated with George Orwell. The Pilgrim's Progress belongs with John Bunyan, not this author. Clue. Question 13. Recall which author is known for Beowulf? Option A, Alexander Pope. Option B, Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Option C, anonymous Old English poet. Option D, D.H. Lawrence. The correct answer is option C, anonymous Old English poet. Anonymous Old English poet fits because Beowulf is an Anglo-Saxon heroic epic built around monsters, loyalty, fame, and alliterative verse. D.H. Lawrence is linked to Sons and Lovers. Alexander Pope is linked to the Rape of the Lock. Alfred, Lord Tennyson points instead to In Memoriam AHH, so it does not match this clue. Question 14. Studying a CLEP-style clue, which author is most closely associated with Heart of Darkness? Option A, Henry Fielding. Option B, Joseph Conrad. Option C, Jane Austen. Option D, William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option B, Joseph Conrad. Joseph Conrad fits because Heart of Darkness is a modern novella exploring imperialism, moral darkness, narration, and ambiguity. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Henry Fielding is linked to Tom Jones. Jane Austen points instead to Pride and Prejudice, so it does not match this clue. Question 15. Can a CLEP item about Virginia Woolf point to which work? Option A, The Second Coming. Option B, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Option C, Mrs. Dalloway. Option D, The Canterbury Tales. The correct answer is option C, Mrs. Dalloway. Mrs. Dalloway fits because it is Virginia Woolf's work, a modernist novel using stream of consciousness, memory, and a single-day structure. The Second Coming is associated with W.B. Yeats. The Canterbury Tales is associated with Geoffrey Chaucer. Ode on a Grecian Urn belongs with John Keats, not this author. Clue. Question 16. Examining a CLEP-style clue among these choices, which one explains a passage where the audience understands danger or truth that a character does not yet see? Option A, situational irony. Option B, foreshadowing. Option C, verbal irony. Option D, dramatic irony. The correct answer is option D, dramatic irony. Dramatic irony fits because dramatic irony depends on a gap between audience knowledge and character knowledge. Verbal irony is wrong because verbal irony says one thing while meaning another. Situational irony and foreshadowing describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 17. Considering a CLEP-style clue, choose the work most closely linked with Mary Shelley. Option A, Frankenstein. Option B, Lyrical Ballads. Option C, Sons and Lovers. Option D, The Second Coming. The correct answer is option A, Frankenstein. Frankenstein fits because it is Mary Shelley's work, a gothic and romantic novel about creation, responsibility, isolation, and ambition. Sons and Lovers is associated with D.H. Lawrence. Lyrical Ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. The Second Coming belongs with W.B. Yeats, not this author. Clue. Question 18. If a clue names Dorothea Brooke, which title is expected? Option A, Pride and Prejudice. Option B, The Second Coming. Option C, Middlemarch. Option D, Ellie Mort d'Arthur. The correct answer is option C, Middlemarch. Dorothea Brooke is a central figure in George Eliot's realist Victorian novel. Elizabeth Bennet is Austen's heroine, Clarissa Dalloway is Wolfe's character, Satan is Milton's epic rebel. Question 19. Testing a CLEP-style clue, recognizing Vladimir and Estragon points to which work? Option A, Waiting for Godot. Option B, Gulliver's Travels. Option C, The Remains of the Day. Option D, Orinoco. The correct answer is option A, Waiting for Godot. Vladimir and Estragon wait through Beckett's absurdist drama. Hamlet and Horatio belong to Shakespeare, Jane and Rochester belong to Bronte, Gulliver and the Houyhnhnms belong to Swift. Question 20. Should The Remains of the Day be matched with which writer? Option A, W. B. Yeats. Option B, William Wordsworth. Option C, Kazuo Ishiguro. Option D, William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option C, Kazuo Ishiguro. Kazuo Ishiguro fits because The Remains of the Day is a late 20th century novel about memory, restraint, class, and missed emotional truth. William Wordsworth is linked to lyrical ballads, William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. W. B. Yeats points instead to The Second Coming, so it does not match this clue. Question 21. If a passage context shows intellectual conceits, paradox, argumentative speakers, and spiritual or erotic wit, which period is likely? Option A, Old English poetry. Option B, Victorian realism. Option C, metaphysical poetry. Option D, romantic poetry. The correct answer is option C, metaphysical poetry. Metaphysical poetry fits because it is commonly linked with intellectual conceits, paradox, argumentative speakers, and spiritual or erotic wit. Romantic poetry is different because romantic poetry favors imagination, nature, and emotional intensity. Victorian realism and Old English poetry point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 22. Which author is most closely associated with Mrs. Dalloway? Option A, Virginia Woolf. Option B, John Donne. Option C, Derek Walcott. Option D, Charles Dickens. The correct answer is option A, Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf fits because Mrs. Dalloway is a modernist novel using stream of consciousness, memory, and a single-day structure. John Donne is linked to holy sonnets, Derek Walcott is linked to Omrose. Charles Dickens points instead to Great Expectations, so it does not match this clue. Question 23. Recognizing the continuation of a sentence beyond the end of a poetic line points to which term? Option A, apostrophe. Option B, blank verse. Option C, Gothic. Option D, enjambment. The correct answer is option D, enjambment. Enjambment fits because it means the continuation of a sentence beyond the end of a poetic line. Apostrophe and blank verse refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Gothic is also different, caesura is a pause within a line, and stopping completes a sentence at line end, allusion is a reference. Question 24. Should Ellie Mort d'Arthur be matched with which writer? Option A, John Donne. Option B, Sir Thomas Malory. Option C, Seamus Heaney. Option D, Ben Jonson. The correct answer is option B, Sir Thomas Malory. Sir Thomas Malory fits because Ellie Mort d'Arthur is a prose romance that gathers Arthurian legends of knights, quests, and chivalry. Seamus Heaney is linked to North, Ben Jonson is linked to Volpone. John Donne points instead to holy sonnets, so it does not match this clue. Question 25. How should a character clue about Hamlet be answered? Option A, Volpone. Option B, Paradise Lost. Option C, Heart of Darkness. Option D, Hamlet. The correct answer is option D, Hamlet. Hamlet is Shakespeare's Prince of Denmark in the revenge tragedy. Othello centers on jealousy, Volpone is Jonson's satire, Paradise Lost is Milton's epic. Question 26. Among these terms, which one names a narrator whose account should not be fully trusted? Option A, unreliable narrator. Option B, irony. Option C, Spenserian stanza. Option D, metaphor. The correct answer is option A, unreliable narrator. Unreliable narrator fits because it means a narrator whose account should not be fully trusted. Metaphor and irony refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Spenserian stanza is also different. Omniscient narrator knows many minds, author is the real writer, antagonist opposes the protagonist. Question 27. Spotting that a poem follows 3 quatrains and a final rhyming couplet should lead to which term? Option A, epic. Option B, ode. Option C, Shakespearean sonnet. Option D, Petrarchan sonnet. The correct answer is option C, Shakespearean sonnet. Shakespearean sonnet fits because the Shakespearean sonnet organizes 14 lines into 3 quatrains and a concluding couplet. Petrarchan sonnet is wrong because Petrarchan sonnets divide into octave and sestet. Ode and epic describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 28. When John Donne appears in review, which title fits? Option A, Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option B, Holy Sonnets. Option C, Lyrical Ballads. Option D, Ode on a Grecian Urn. The correct answer is option B, Holy Sonnets. Holy Sonnets fits because it is John Donne's work, a group of metaphysical poems using paradox, argument, and intense spiritual drama. Lyrical Ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. Ode on a Grecian Urn is associated with John Keats. Songs of Innocence and Experience belongs with William Blake, not this author clue. Question 29. Among these writers, who is linked to In Memoriam AHH? Option A, Virginia Woolf. Option B, Seamus Heaney. Option C, Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Option D, George Orwell. The correct answer is option C, Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Alfred, Lord Tennyson fits because In Memoriam AHH is a Victorian elegy that wrestles with grief, faith, science, and doubt. Virginia Woolf is linked to Mrs. Dalloway, George Orwell is linked to 1984. Seamus Heaney points instead to north, so it does not match this clue. Question 30. Comparing a CLEP-style clue recognizing Christopher Marlowe should lead to which title? Option A, Tristram Shandy. Option B, Things Fall Apart. Option C, Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option D, Dr. Faustus. The correct answer is option D, Dr. Faustus. Dr. Faustus fits because it is Christopher Marlowe's work, a Renaissance tragedy about ambition, forbidden knowledge, and a bargain with the devil. Things Fall Apart is associated with Chinua Achebe. Songs of Innocence and Experience is associated with William Blake. Tristram Shandy belongs with Lawrence Sterne, not this author clue. Question 31. How would a clue about George Eliot most likely be answered? Option A, Gulliver's Travels. Option B, Beowulf. Option C, Middlemarch. Option D, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. The correct answer is option C, Middlemarch. Middlemarch fits because it is George Eliot's work, a realist Victorian novel known for social breadth, moral complexity, and Dorothea Brooke. Tess of the D'Urbervilles is associated with Thomas Hardy. Beowulf is associated with anonymous Old English poet. Gulliver's Travels belongs with Jonathan Swift, not this author clue. Question 32. Should Othello be matched with which writer? Option A, Doris Lessing. Option B, Aphra Behn. Option C, William Shakespeare. Option D, William Wordsworth. The correct answer is option C, William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because Othello is a tragedy built around jealousy, manipulation, race, and trust. Aphra Behn is linked to Orinoco. William Wordsworth is linked to lyrical ballads. Doris Lessing points instead to the Golden Notebook, so it does not match this clue. Question 33. How should a character clue about Lady Macbeth be answered? Option A, Orinoco. Option B, Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option C, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Option D, Macbeth. The correct answer is option D, Macbeth. Lady Macbeth belongs to the tragedy of ambition and guilt surrounding Duncan's murder. Hamlet focuses on a Danish prince. The Rape of the Lock satirizes social vanity. Middlemarch is a realist Victorian novel. Question 34. Which work is tied to Elizabeth Barrett Browning? Option A, Dr. Faustus. Option B, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option C, Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option D, To His Coy Mistress. The correct answer is option C, Sonnets from the Portuguese. Sonnets from the Portuguese fits because it is Elizabeth Barrett Browning's work, a Victorian sonnet sequence exploring love, voice, and devotion. Dr. Faustus is associated with Christopher Marlowe. Tess of the D'Urbervilles is associated with Thomas Hardy. To His Coy Mistress belongs with Andrew Marvell, not this author clue. Question 35. Can a CLEP item about Lord Byron point to which work? Option A, To His Coy Mistress. Option B, 1984. Option C, Tom Jones. Option D, Don Juan. The correct answer is option D, Don Juan. Don Juan fits because it is Lord Byron's work, a witty satirical verse narrative associated with the Byronic voice and social critique. 1984 is associated with George Orwell. Tom Jones is associated with Henry Fielding. To His Coy Mistress belongs with Andrew Marvell, not this author clue. Question 36. Should Volpone be matched with which writer? Option A. George Herbert. Option B. Ben Jonson. Option C. T.S. Eliot. Option D. Salman Rushdie. The correct answer is option B. Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson fits because Volpone is a Jacobean satirical comedy exposing greed, deception, and moral corruption. George Herbert is linked to the temple, Salman Rushdie is linked to Midnight's Children. T.S. Eliot points instead to the wasteland, so it does not match this clue. Question 37. Choose the work most closely linked with John Milton. Option A. Paradise Lost. Option B. The Fairy Queen. Option C. Don Juan. Option D. Things Fall Apart. The correct answer is option A. Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost fits because it is John Milton's work, a blank verse epic on the fall, Satan, obedience, free will, and divine justice. Don Juan is associated with Lord Byron. The Fairy Queen is associated with Edmund Spenser. Things Fall Apart belongs with Chinua Achebe, not this author clue. Question 38. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue when Lawrence Sterne appears in review, which title fits? Option A. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Option B. Hard Times. Option C. Tristram Shandy. Option D. The Pilgrim's Progress. The correct answer is option C. Tristram Shandy. Tristram Shandy fits because it is Lawrence Sterne's work, an experimental 18th century novel famous for digression and playful narration. Hard Times is associated with Charles Dickens. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is associated with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. The Pilgrim's Progress belongs with John Bunyan, not this author clue. Question 39. During work matching, which title belongs to Daniel Defoe? Option A. In Memoriam AHH. Option B. Lyrical Ballads. Option C. Gulliver's Travels. Option D. Robinson Crusoe. The correct answer is option D. Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe fits because it is Daniel Defoe's work, an early English novel using realism, survival narrative, and economic individualism. Lyrical Ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. In Memoriam AHH is associated with Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Gulliver's Travels belongs with Jonathan Swift, not this author clue. Question 40. Comparing a CLEP-style clue among these periods, which one matches order, reason, decorum, satire, heroic couplets, and classical imitation? Option A. Renaissance. Option B. Neoclassical/18th century. Option C. Modernism. Option D. Romantic. The correct answer is option B. Neoclassical/18th century. Neoclassical/18th century fits because it is commonly linked with order, reason, decorum, satire, heroic couplets, and classical imitation. Renaissance is different because Renaissance writing highlights humanism, drama, and exploration of individual ambition. Romantic and modernism point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 41. Among these writers, who is linked to Middlemarch? Option A. George Eliot. Option B. Emily Bronte. Option C. William Shakespeare. Option D. Charles Dickens. The correct answer is option A. George Eliot. George Eliot fits because Middlemarch is a realist Victorian novel known for social breadth, moral complexity, and Dorothea Brooke. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Charles Dickens is linked to Great Expectations. Emily Bronte points instead to Wuthering Heights, so it does not match this clue. Question 42. Which author is most closely associated with the Fairy Queen? Option A. Henry Fielding. Option B. Daniel Defoe. Option C. Edmund Spenser. Option D. Doris Lessing. The correct answer is option C. Edmund Spenser. Edmund Spenser fits because the Fairy Queen is an allegorical Renaissance epic romance written in the Spenserian stanza. Henry Fielding is linked to Tom Jones. Doris Lessing is linked to the Golden Notebook. Daniel Defoe points instead to Robinson Crusoe, so it does not match this clue. Question 43. When 1984 appears in a literature clue, which writer fits? Option A. George Orwell. Option B. John Donne. Option C. John Keats. Option D. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. The correct answer is option A. George Orwell. George Orwell fits because 1984 is a dystopian political novel about surveillance, language control, and totalitarian power. John Donne is linked to Holy Sonnets. Elizabeth Barrett Browning is linked to sonnets from the Portuguese. John Keats points instead to Ode on a Grecian Urn, so it does not match this clue. Question 44. Should The Rape of the Lock be matched with which writer? Option A. Christopher Marlowe. Option B. Henry Fielding. Option C. Alexander Pope. Option D. W. B. Yeats. The correct answer is option C. Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope fits because The Rape of the Lock is a mock-heroic poem using heroic couplets to satirize social vanity. W.B. Yeats is linked to The Second Coming. Henry Fielding is linked to Tom Jones. Christopher Marlowe points instead to Dr. Faustus, so it does not match this clue. Question 45. Can you name the literary term for unrhymed iambic pentameter? Option A. Villanelle. Option B. Terza rima. Option C. Blank verse. Option D. Frame narrative. The correct answer is option C, blank verse. Blank verse fits because it means unrhymed iambic pentameter. Terza rima and villanelle refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Frame narrative is also different. Free verse has no regular meter. Heroic couplets rhyme in pairs. Ballads usually use narrative stanzas. Question 46. Examining a CLEP-style clue among these terms, which one names a recurring image, phrase, idea, or situation that helps develop meaning? Option A. Motif. Option B. Narrator. Option C. Kenning. Option D. Apostrophe. The correct answer is option A. Motif. Motif fits because it means a recurring image, phrase, idea, or situation that helps develop meaning. Apostrophe and narrator refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Kenning is also different. Theme is the larger insight. Plot is sequence of events. Tone is the speaker's attitude. Question 47. How should a CLEP author clue for Frankenstein be answered? Option A. Mary Shelley. Option B. Henry Fielding. Option C. William Shakespeare. Option D. Seamus Heaney. The correct answer is option A. Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley fits because Frankenstein is a Gothic and romantic novel about creation, responsibility, isolation, and ambition. Henry Fielding is linked to Tom Jones. Seamus Heaney is linked to North. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 48. During passage analysis, which term matches the clue that a passage uses unrhymed iambic pentameter in elevated drama or epic? Option A. Heroic couplet. Option B. Blank verse. Option C. Free verse. Option D. Ottava rima. The correct answer is option B. Blank verse. Blank verse fits because blank verse is unrhymed iambic pentameter, a form strongly associated with Shakespearean drama and Miltonic epic. Heroic couplet is wrong because heroic couplets rhyme in pairs. Ottava rima and free verse describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 49. Select the term for a speech in drama where a character speaks thoughts aloud, often alone. Option A. Kenning. Option B. Sonnet. Option C. Soliloquy. Option D. Enjambment. The correct answer is option C. Soliloquy. Soliloquy fits because it means a speech in drama where a character speaks thoughts aloud, often alone. Enjambment and sonnet refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Kenning is also different. Dialogue involves exchange, aside is brief and directed to the audience, dramatic monologue is usually a poem. Question 50. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, how would a clue about T.S. Eliot most likely be answered? Option A. Pride and Prejudice. Option B. Lyrical ballads. Option C. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option D. The Rape of the Lock. The correct answer is option C. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock fits because it is T.S. Eliot's work, a modernist dramatic monologue about paralysis, self-consciousness, and urban alienation. Lyrical ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. Pride and Prejudice is associated with Jane Austen. The Rape of the Lock belongs with Alexander Pope, not this author clue. Question 51. Among these titles, which one contains Christian? Option A. The Fairy Queen. Option B. Orinoco. Option C. The Pilgrim's Progress. Option D. The Remains of the Day. The correct answer is option C. The Pilgrim's Progress. Christian is the allegorical pilgrim whose journey represents spiritual life. Gulliver is Swift's traveler. Hamlet is Shakespeare's prince. Prufrock is Eliot's anxious speaker. Question 52. Study cards should connect W.B. Yeats with which work? Option A. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option B. The Second Coming. Option C. Waiting for Godot. Option D. Great Expectations. The correct answer is option B. The Second Coming. The Second Coming fits because it is W.B. Yeats's work, a modernist symbolic poem known for apocalyptic imagery and historical disorder. Waiting for Godot is associated with Samuel Beckett. Great Expectations is associated with Charles Dickens. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock belongs with T.S. Eliot, not this author clue. Question 53. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with my last Duchess? Option A, George Orwell. Option B, Robert Browning. Option C, William Shakespeare. Option D, Alfred, Lord Tennyson. The correct answer is option B, Robert Browning. Robert Browning fits because My Last Duchess is a dramatic monologue revealing character through a speaker's controlled self-exposure. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet, George Orwell is linked to 1984. Alfred, Lord Tennyson points instead to In Memoriam AHH, so it does not match this clue. Question 54. Studying a CLEP-style clue, identify the writer normally connected with Waiting for Godot. Option A, John Keats. Option B, T.S. Eliot. Option C, Robert Browning. Option D, Samuel Beckett. The correct answer is option D, Samuel Beckett. Samuel Beckett fits because Waiting for Godot is an absurdist drama centered on waiting, repetition, uncertainty, and minimal action. John Keats is linked to Ode on a Grecian Urn. T.S. Eliot is linked to The Wasteland. Robert Browning points instead to My Last Duchess, so it does not match this clue. Question 55. How should a CLEP author clue for Ode to the West Wind be answered? Option A, Percy Bysshe Shelley. Option B, Geoffrey Chaucer. Option C, Salman Rushdie. Option D, William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option A, Percy Bysshe Shelley. Percy Bysshe Shelley fits because Ode to the West Wind is a romantic ode that treats nature as destructive, creative, and revolutionary power. Salman Rushdie is linked to Midnight's Children. Geoffrey Chaucer is linked to the Canterbury Tales. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 56. Choose the work most closely linked with Thomas Hardy. Option A, Dr. Faustus. Option B, Paradise Lost. Option C, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option D, Lyrical Ballads. The correct answer is option C, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Tess of the D'Urbervilles fits because it is Thomas Hardy's work, a late Victorian tragic novel involving social judgment, fate, sexuality, and rural change. Dr. Faustus is associated with Christopher Marlowe. Lyrical Ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. Paradise Lost belongs with John Milton, not this author clue. Question 57. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with Robinson Crusoe? Option A, Daniel Defoe. Option B, Lord Byron. Option C, Emily Bronte. Option D, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. The correct answer is option A, Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe fits because Robinson Crusoe is an early English novel using realism, survival narrative, and economic individualism. Lord Byron is linked to Don Juan. Samuel Taylor Coleridge is linked to The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Emily Bronte points instead to Wuthering Heights, so it does not match this clue. Question 58. During terminology review, which term matches drama focused on serious conflict, suffering, and often a fall or death? Option A, alliteration. Option B, free indirect discourse. Option C, terza rima. Option D, tragedy. The correct answer is option D, tragedy. Tragedy fits because it means drama focused on serious conflict, suffering, and often a fall or death. Alliteration and free indirect discourse refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Terza rima is also different. Comedy usually moves towards social restoration, farce depends on broad absurdity, pastoral idealizes rural life. Question 59. Select the term for a direct address to an absent person, abstract idea, or thing. Option A, apostrophe. Option B, assonance. Option C, allusion. Option D, stream of consciousness. The correct answer is option A, apostrophe. Apostrophe fits because it means a direct address to an absent person, abstract idea, or thing. Assonance and allusion refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Stream of consciousness is also different. Soliloquy is a speech by a character alone on stage. Satire attacks folly. Metonymy substitutes an associated term. Question 60. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, can Tess of the D'Urbervilles help identify which author? Option A, T.S. Eliot. Option B, Emily Bronte. Option C, Seamus Heaney. Option D, Thomas Hardy. The correct answer is option D, Thomas Hardy. Thomas Hardy fits because Tess of the D'Urbervilles is a late Victorian tragic novel involving social judgment, fate, sexuality, and rural change. Emily Bronte is linked to Wuthering Heights. T.S. Eliot is linked to The Wasteland. Seamus Heaney points instead to North, so it does not match this clue. Question 61. If you see Samuel Johnson, which title should you remember? Option A, Preface to Shakespeare. Option B, The Fairy Queen. Option C, Hard Times. Option D, Frankenstein. The correct answer is option A, Preface to Shakespeare. Preface to Shakespeare fits because it is Samuel Johnson's work, an important neoclassical critical essay defending Shakespeare while noting faults. Hard Times is associated with Charles Dickens, Frankenstein is associated with Mary Shelley. The Fairy Queen belongs with Edmund Spenser, not this author. Clue. Question 62. Study cards should connect Henry Fielding with which work? Option A, Troilus and Cressida. Option B, Hard Times. Option C, Tom Jones. Option D, The Importance of Being Earnest. The correct answer is option C, Tom Jones. Tom Jones fits because it is Henry Fielding's work, a comic realist novel known for an intrusive narrator and carefully plotted action. Troilus and Cressida is associated with Geoffrey Chaucer. Hard Times is associated with Charles Dickens. The Importance of Being Earnest belongs with Oscar Wilde, not this author. Clue. Question 63. Which work is tied to Seamus Heaney? Option A, In Memoriam AHH. Option B, The Rape of the Lock. Option C, North. Option D, A Midsummer Night's Dream. The correct answer is option C, North. North fits because it is Seamus Heaney's work, a modern poetry collection often linked with history, violence, bog imagery and memory. A Midsummer Night's Dream is associated with William Shakespeare. In Memoriam AHH is associated with Alfred, Lord Tennyson. The Rape of the Lock belongs with Alexander Pope, not this author. Clue. Question 64. Can you name the literary term for a formal lyric poem of praise, meditation, or address? Option A, simile. Option B, dramatic monologue. Option C, pastoral. Option D, ode. The correct answer is option D, ode. Ode fits because it means a formal lyric poem of praise, meditation, or address. Simile and pastoral refer to different literary concepts, not this exact. Clue. Dramatic monologue is also different. Epic is long and narrative. Satire attacks folly. Ballad tells a story in song-like stanzas. Question 65. Among these terms, which one names a narrative in which characters or events carry sustained symbolic or moral meanings? Option A, satire. Option B, allegory. Option C, narrator. Option D, blank verse. The correct answer is option B, allegory. Allegory fits because it means a narrative in which characters or events carry sustained symbolic or moral meanings. Narrator and blank verse refer to different literary concepts, not this exact. Clue. Satire is also different. Metaphor is a shorter implied comparison. Realism imitates ordinary life. Caesura is a pause inside a poetic line. Question 66. Can Victor Frankenstein help identify which work? Option A, Dover Beach. Option B, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Option C, Frankenstein. Option D, The Golden Notebook. The correct answer is option C, Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein is the scientist who creates the creature in Mary Shelley's Gothic novel. Robinson Crusoe is a castaway. Faustus makes a demonic bargain. Winston Smith belongs to 1984. Question 67. Considering a CLEP style clue, when a passage shows the speaker's or author's attitude toward the subject, which term fits? Option A, Bildungsroman. Option B, tone. Option C, frame narrative. Option D, blank verse. The correct answer is option B, tone. Tone fits because it means the speaker's or author's attitude toward the subject. Blank verse and Bildungsroman refer to different literary concepts, not this exact. Clue. Frame narrative is also different. Mood is the feeling created in the reader. Plot is event sequence. Meter is rhythmic pattern. Question 68. Can To His Coy Mistress help identify which author? Option A, William Shakespeare. Option B, Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Option C, Andrew Marvell. Option D, Emily Bronte. The correct answer is option C, Andrew Marvell. Andrew Marvell fits because To His Coy Mistress is a carpe diem metaphysical poem that moves from persuasion to urgency. Elizabeth Barrett Browning is linked to sonnets from the Portuguese. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Emily Bronte points instead to Wuthering Heights, so it does not match this clue. Question 69. Testing a CLEP-style clue. If a clue names Jane Eyre and Rochester, which title is expected? Option A, Orinoco. Option B, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Option C, Great Expectations. Option D, Jane Eyre. The correct answer is option D, Jane Eyre. Jane and Rochester are central to Charlotte Bronte's Gothic Bildungsroman. Catherine and Heathcliff belong to Wuthering Heights. Elizabeth and Darcy belong to Pride and Prejudice. Vladimir and Estragon belong to Waiting for Godot. Question 70. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, identify the writer normally connected with The Tempest. Option A, John Keats. Option B, Doris Lessing. Option C, William Shakespeare. Option D. Robert Browning. The correct answer is option C. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because The Tempest is a late romance involving Prospero, magic, forgiveness, and colonial questions. John Keats is linked to Ode on a Grecian Urn. Robert Browning is linked to My Last Duchess. Doris Lessing points instead to The Golden Notebook, so it does not match this clue. Question 71. When a CLEP-style passage shows that a 14-line poem divides into an octave and sestet, which answer works? Option A. Petrarchan sonnet. Option B. Shakespearean sonnet. Option C. Ballad. Option D. Villanelle. The correct answer is option A. Petrarchan sonnet. Petrarchan sonnet fits because the Petrarchan sonnet usually turns between an 8-line octave and a 6-line sestet. Shakespearean sonnet is wrong because Shakespearean sonnets use 3 quatrains and a closing couplet. Ballad and villanelle describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 72. Study cards should connect Derek Walcott with which work? Option A. Omrose. Option B. Hamlet. Option C. Tristram Shandy. Option D. Orinoco. The correct answer is option A. Omrose. Omrose fits because it is Derek Walcott's work, a Caribbean epic that reworks classical forms through post-colonial history and island experience. Hamlet is associated with William Shakespeare. Tristram Shandy is associated with Lawrence Sterne. Orinoco belongs with Aphra Behn, not this author clue. Question 73. Which work is tied to Robert Browning? Option A. The Wasteland. Option B. The Pilgrim's Progress. Option C. Lyrical Ballads. Option D. My Last Duchess. The correct answer is option D. My Last Duchess. My Last Duchess fits because it is Robert Browning's work, a dramatic monologue revealing character through a speaker's controlled self-exposure. The Pilgrim's Progress is associated with John Bunyan. The Wasteland is associated with T.S. Eliot. Lyrical Ballads belongs with William Wordsworth, not this author clue. Question 74. Can you name the literary term for writing that mocks vice, folly, or corruption to criticize it? Option A. Alliteration. Option B. Stream of consciousness. Option C. Metonymy. Option D. Satire. The correct answer is option D. Satire. Satire fits because it means writing that mocks vice, folly, or corruption to criticize it. Metonymy and alliteration refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Stream of consciousness is also different. Elegy mourns loss. Romance emphasizes adventure or idealized love. Lyric expresses personal feeling. Question 75. Among these works, which one is by William Blake? Option A. The Pilgrim's Progress. Option B. Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option C. My Last Duchess. Option D. Frankenstein. The correct answer is option B. Songs of Innocence and Experience. Songs of Innocence and Experience fits because it is William Blake's work, visionary poems contrasting innocence, experience, social oppression, and spiritual perception. The Pilgrim's Progress is associated with John Bunyan. My Last Duchess is associated with Robert Browning. Frankenstein belongs with Mary Shelley, not this author clue. Question 76. Identify the device described as a work that applies epic style to a trivial subject for comic or satiric effect. Option A. Mock epic. Option B. Gothic. Option C. Epistolary novel. Option D. Kenning. The correct answer is option A. Mock epic. Mock epic fits because it means a work that applies epic style to a trivial subject for comic or satiric effect. Kenning and Gothic refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Epistolary novel is also different. Tragedy centers on serious downfall. Pastoral idealizes rural life. Elegy mourns loss. Question 77. Considering a CLEP-style clue on a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with The Pilgrim's Progress? Option A. Lord Byron. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. John Bunyan. Option D. Emily Bronte. The correct answer is option C. John Bunyan. John Bunyan fits because The Pilgrim's Progress is a religious allegory that turns Christian life into a symbolic journey. Emily Bronte is linked to Wuthering Heights. Lord Byron is linked to Don Juan. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 78. During work matching, which title belongs to Jane Austen? Option A. Great Expectations. Option B. Pride and Prejudice. Option C. Midnight's Children. Option D. Wuthering Heights. The correct answer is option B. Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice fits because it is Jane Austen's work, a novel of manners centered on courtship, class, irony, and moral judgment. Great Expectations is associated with Charles Dickens, Midnight's Children is associated with Salman Rushdie, Wuthering Heights belongs with Emily Bronte, not this author. Clue. Question 79. Testing a CLEP style clue. Who wrote Sons and Lovers? Option A. D. H. Lawrence. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. John Milton. Option D. T. S. Eliot. The correct answer is option A. D. H. Lawrence. D. H. Lawrence fits because Sons and Lovers is a modern novel of psychological realism, family bonds, sexuality and class tension. T. S. Eliot is linked to The Wasteland, John Milton is linked to Paradise Lost. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 80. If you see John Bunyan, which title should you remember? Option A. The Pilgrim's Progress. Option B. Tristram Shandy. Option C. Pride and Prejudice. Option D. Great Expectations. The correct answer is option A. The Pilgrim's Progress. The Pilgrim's Progress fits because it is John Bunyan's work, a religious allegory that turns Christian life into a symbolic journey. Tristram Shandy is associated with Lawrence Sterne. Pride and Prejudice is associated with Jane Austen. Great Expectations belongs with Charles Dickens, not this author. Clue. Question 81. Recognizing a poem of mourning, often reflecting on death and loss points to which term? Option A. Iambic pentameter. Option B. Elegy. Option C. Mock epic. Option D. Sonnet. The correct answer is option B. Elegy. Elegy fits because it means a poem of mourning, often reflecting on death and loss. Sonnet and mock epic refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Iambic pentameter is also different. Ode praises or meditates formally, satire mocks folly, ballad tells a song-like story. Question 82. Interpreting a CLEP style clue, which work is tied to William Shakespeare? Option A. Hard Times. Option B. Omrose. Option C. The Tempest. Option D. My Last Duchess. The correct answer is option C. The Tempest. The Tempest fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a late romance involving Prospero, magic, forgiveness and colonial questions. Omrose is associated with Derek Walcott, Hard Times is associated with Charles Dickens. My Last Duchess belongs with Robert Browning, not this author. Clue. Question 83. During passage analysis, which term matches the clue that one speaker addresses a silent listener and unintentionally exposes his character? Option A. Pastoral. Option B. Elegy. Option C. Dramatic monologue. Option D. Epic. The correct answer is option C. Dramatic monologue. Dramatic monologue fits because a dramatic monologue reveals the speaker through voice, situation, and what the speaker fails to understand about himself. Elegy is wrong because elegy mourns the dead. Pastoral and epic describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 84. During author review, which writer belongs with the Canterbury Tales? Option A. William Shakespeare. Option B. John Keats. Option C. Doris Lessing. Option D. Geoffrey Chaucer. The correct answer is option D. Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer fits because the Canterbury Tales is a Middle English frame narrative that uses pilgrims to create a state satire. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet, Doris Lessing is linked to The Golden Notebook. John Keats points instead to Ode on a Grecian Urn, so it does not match this clue. Question 85. Could humanism, courtly culture, sonnets, revenge tragedy, and flourishing drama point to which literary period? Option A. Renaissance. Option B. Modernism. Option C. Neoclassical. Option D. Anglo-Saxon/Old English. The correct answer is option A. Renaissance. Renaissance fits because it is commonly linked with humanism, courtly culture, sonnets, revenge tragedy, and flourishing drama. Anglo-Saxon/Old English is different because Old English literature is known for heroic epic and alliterative verse. Neoclassical and modernism point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 86. Examining a CLEP-style clue, when John Keats appears in review, which title fits? Option A. Tristram Shandy. Option B. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Option C. Wuthering Heights. Option D. Ode on a Grecian Urn. The correct answer is option D. Ode on a Grecian Urn. Ode on a Grecian Urn fits because it is John Keats's work, a romantic ode meditating on art, beauty, permanence, and human transience. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is associated with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Wuthering Heights is associated with Emily Bronte. Tristram Shandy belongs with Lawrence Sterne, not this author. Clue. Question 87. How should a clue about pilgrimage frames, estates satire, romance, and the transition from Old to Middle English be classified? Option A, Victorian. Option B, Renaissance. Option C, post-colonial. Option D, Middle English/medieval. The correct answer is option D, Middle English/medieval. Middle English/medieval fits because it is commonly linked with pilgrimage frames, estate satire, romance, and the transition from Old to Middle English. Renaissance is different because Renaissance writing is linked to humanism, drama, and sonnet sequences. Victorian and post-colonial point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 88. Select the term for a larger story that contains one or more smaller stories. Option A, foreshadowing. Option B, sestet. Option C, sonnet. Option D, frame narrative. The correct answer is option D, frame narrative. Frame narrative fits because it means a larger story that contains one or more smaller stories. Sonnet and sestet refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Foreshadowing is also different. Bildungsroman follows growth to maturity, allegory uses sustained symbols, pastoral idealizes rural settings. Question 89. Testing a CLEP-style clue, how would a clue about T.S. Eliot most likely be answered? Option A. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option B. Dr. Faustus. Option C. The Wasteland. Option D. Waiting for Godot. The correct answer is option C, The Wasteland. The Wasteland fits because it is T.S. Eliot's work, a modernist poem marked by fragmentation, illusion, spiritual dryness, and cultural crisis. Waiting for Godot is associated with Samuel Beckett, Dr. Faustus is associated with Christopher Marlowe. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock belongs with T.S. Eliot, not this author clue. Question 90. If you see Samuel Taylor Coleridge, which title should you remember? Option A. Great Expectations. Option B. Ode to the West Wind. Option C. In Memoriam AHH. Option D. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. The correct answer is option D, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner fits because it is Samuel Taylor Coleridge's work, a supernatural romantic ballad involving guilt, punishment, and imaginative vision. Ode to the West Wind is associated with Percy Bysshe Shelley, In Memoriam AHH is associated with Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Great Expectations belongs with Charles Dickens, not this author clue. Question 91. During passage analysis, which term matches the clue that a question asks for the speaker's attitude toward a subject? Option A, tone. Option B, mood. Option C, plot. Option D, setting. The correct answer is option A, tone. Tone fits because tone names the speaker's or author's attitude, such as ironic, reverent, skeptical, or mournful. Mood is wrong because mood is the feeling created in the reader. Plot and setting describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 92. Which term fits a passage where a sentence runs beyond the line break before completing its grammar? Option A, enjambment. Option B, caesura. Option C, end stopping. Option D, alliteration. The correct answer is option A, enjambment. Enjambment fits because enjambment occurs when syntax flows past the end of a poetic line, often increasing movement or suspense. Caesura is wrong because caesura is a pause within a line. End stopping and alliteration describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 93. Can you name the literary term for an implied comparison that does not use like or as? Option A, stream of consciousness. Option B, metaphor. Option C, elegy. Option D, ode. The correct answer is option B, metaphor. Metaphor fits because it means an implied comparison that does not use like or as. Elegy and ode refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Stream of consciousness is also different, simile uses like or as, personification gives human traits to non-human things, hyperbole exaggerates. Question 94. Studying a CLEP-style clue, recall which author is known for Omrose? Option A, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Option B, Derek Walcott. Option C, Emily Bronte. Option D, Andrew Marvell. The correct answer is option B, Derek Walcott. Derek Walcott fits because Omrose is a Caribbean epic that reworks classical forms through post-colonial history and island experience. Samuel Taylor Coleridge is linked to the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Andrew Marvell is linked to his coy mistress. Emily Bronte points instead to Wuthering Heights, so it does not match this clue. Question 95. How should a reader label a passage where a story is told by a voice whose judgments seem limited, biased, or misleading? Option A, objective correlative. Option B, omniscient narrator. Option C, unreliable narrator. Option D, authorial biography. The correct answer is option C, unreliable narrator. Unreliable narrator fits because an unreliable narrator gives readers reason to question the accuracy or fairness of the account. Omniscient narrator is wrong because omniscient narration is broadly all-knowing. Authorial biography and objective correlative describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 96. Examining a CLEP-style clue, when William Shakespeare appears in review, which title fits? Option A, Gulliver's Travels. Option B, To His Coy Mistress. Option C, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Option D, The Second Coming. The correct answer is option C, A Midsummer Night's Dream. A Midsummer Night's Dream fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a comedy that mixes lovers, fairies, mistaken identities, and theatrical play. To His Coy Mistress is associated with Andrew Marvell, The Second Coming is associated with W. B. Yeats. Gulliver's Travels belongs with Jonathan Swift, not this author clue. Question 97. During terminology review, which term matches 5 iambic feet, usually 10 syllables with an unstressed stressed pattern? Option A, iambic pentameter. Option B, tone. Option C, tragedy. Option D, conceit. The correct answer is option A, iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter fits because it means 5 iambic feet, usually 10 syllables with an unstressed stressed pattern. Conceit and tone refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Tragedy is also different. Trochaic meter begins stressed unstressed, free verse lacks regular meter, anapest has 2 unstressed syllables before a stressed one. Question 98. Select the term for a contrast between expectation and reality or between literal and intended meaning. Option A, sonnet. Option B, kenning. Option C, comedy of manners. Option D, irony. The correct answer is option D, irony. Irony fits because it means a contrast between expectation and reality or between literal and intended meaning. Comedy of manners and sonnet refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Kenning is also different. Imagery appeals to the senses, meter organizes rhythm, symbolism uses objects to suggest larger meanings. Question 99. How is a compact metaphorical compound common in Old English poetry usually labeled? Option A, stream of consciousness. Option B, kenning. Option C, frame narrative. Option D, narrator. The correct answer is option B, ing. Kenning fits because it means a compact metaphorical compound common in Old English poetry. Frame narrative and narrator refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Stream of consciousness is also different. Conceit is usually a longer elaborate comparison. Epithet is a descriptive tag. Metonymy uses association rather than compounding. Question 100. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, if you see William Wordsworth, which title should you remember? Option A, Lyrical Ballads. Option B, Robinson Crusoe. Option C, Things Fall Apart. Option D, Orinoco. The correct answer is option A, Lyrical Ballads. Lyrical Ballads fits because it is William Wordsworth's work, a landmark romantic collection favoring ordinary language, nature, feeling, and imagination. Robinson Crusoe is associated with Daniel Defoe, Orinoco is associated with Aphra Behn. Things Fall Apart belongs with Chinua Achebe, not this author clue.